When we sat down with John Morgan last month at our summit, the conversation turned to intake. He got blunt. If intake doesn't work, nothing works. You can't practice law without cases, so the phone is the whole game. Here's exactly what he told us, broken down into the handful of things he's genuinely maniacal about. I'm Daisy Lopez, a growth specialist here at Abogados Now. We've worked with over 500 law firms nationwide and driven more than $250 million in settlement fees. And we're a Google Premier partner, the top 3% of agencies in the world. We interviewed John Morgan directly for our legal marketing summit last month, so this is straight from the founder of the biggest plaintiff firm in America on how he actually runs intake at scale.
Before we continue, a quick note and the only break you'll hear in today's episode. Most attorneys know they should be reaching Hispanic clients, but very few do it well. That's where we come in. At Abogados Now, we build authentic Spanish language campaigns that actually get you more cases and grow your practice. So if you're looking for a new way to get more clients, book a call with our team today at abogadosnow.com. Now, let's get back to the episode.
John's frame is simple. Intake isn't a support function or a cost center. It's the foundation of your practice. If you have no cases, you have no law firm. So he's maniacal about it. Everything flows from how fast you pick up and how smart you triage. The first thing John hammered is speed. He runs intake like a sales floor. He has a fish first, fish fast mindset. A hurt person picks up the phone when pain is fresh and they're ready to move. That window closes fast. Morgan & Morgan runs roughly 7,000 inbound and outbound calls every single day. Half are outbound, dialers calling people back. Dialers call hangups over and over until they pick up. Every web form, every email, they get a call, not an auto response. He said, you can't think about intake from the perspective of a lawyer. You have to think like a plumber. A hurt client's toilet is overflowing. They call a plumber. If they hit voicemail, they call the next name on Google. The second thing is how he queues cases. John says it plainly. All cases are not the same. Most firms work first in, first out. That means junk stacks at the top while a wrongful death monster waits at the bottom. They ensure no case is treated the same and treats everything with speed, but ensuring it gets routed to the right team. A specialist team takes those big cases over. A mesothelioma case worth $1 to $3 million, that's seen the same morning. Even if a big case lands in Alaska, he staffs it with specialists from across the firm, committing to treating urgent cases like they should. John's analogy, it's the Jay-Z and Beyoncé treatment. If they walk into a jewelry store and there's a line, you make sure there's no line for them. Straight to the front, champagne. That's exactly what a high-value case gets. But here's where it got interesting. The biggest plaintiff firm in America runs a dedicated Spanish-speaking intake operation. When we sat down with John, he told us Morgan & Morgan staffs a 200-agent call center in El Salvador, running around the clock, just for that side of the business. He makes sure that call center is treated with respect and even has a cafeteria and a hospital to ensure they have the best chance of succeeding with this market. If they call and can't be helped in Spanish, they hang up and call the next firm. That's a lost case, and John Morgan won't put up with that. The fact that he runs a massive Spanish intake operation tells you exactly how much signed business is sitting in Spanish language calls. By not staffing real Spanish intake, firms are walking past cases that are literally calling them. In fact, he told us the less firms that run Spanish intake, the better. In his words, when we asked them about encouraging other law firms to do Spanish, he said, "Don't. I want it all." Then there's his AI strategy. He's actively testing how AI performs inside real intake calls, but cautiously. He's got a name for the strategy. Bullets before bombs. Go cautious before you go all in. Test at the bottom, protect the top. He experiments with Social Security cases most of the time, where a fee tops out around $4,000. Never on death or high-value cases. AI just isn't ready for those. The biggest, messiest cases stay with real specialists. AI learns on the small stuff while you protect what matters most. He noted a trend that law firms need to know. Years ago, callers complained about offshore customer service. The same thing is happening with the shift now on AI. They're saying, don't put me on a call to AI. They might not mind talking to AI on a straightforward claim or at the beginning stages of intake collection, but some hang up because they want a real person, especially when it's a hard call. It's a new objection, but John has a move for it. A live person calls right back immediately. No acknowledgement of what just happened. That's it. A real person talking to them like the AI never happened, like it was just a glitch. While learning where AI can safely take on more of the load, it's not replace, it's learn and protect. Finally, and this is crucial, none of it works without the right people and the right leadership focus. These aren't support staff buried in the org. They're leadership. Their work matters, and the org reflects that. Intake jobs are tough. People burn out. So he pays and bonuses hard for that talent. Compensation that keeps people. Overnight calls, signups, what's still open. The founder of a massive firm reads the intake dashboard every single day because intake is where the cases come from. Everything else follows. You can't match 7,000 calls a day, but the operating principles translate to any size firm. Pick up quickly and call people back. Speed changes the game. Your best cases get your best people, not the other way around. A dedicated team that speaks Spanish fluently. Don't lose cases because you couldn't talk to them in their language. Start at the bottom with low value cases. Learn before you scale. Protect the big ones with people because it does. Intake is where cases come from. Everything flows from the phone. The point isn't scale, it's principle. Speed, triage, Spanish, AI at the bottom, and people who matter. Any firm can do this. Treat it like John Morgan does, as the real business. Pay it like you mean it, staff it like you need it, and watch what happens. If you want to see where calls are dropping, how your value triage is working, and what a real Spanish intake operation would unlock, book a call with us. We'll show you exactly what's sitting on the table. See you soon.